Honestly, I'm the only one of my group, so two of the other members dropped out 2 hours before the deadline. So I prepared all these things myself. I decided this lesson design based on the material from the corpus of our university created by Dr. Rebecca and her team members. This lesson design focuses on the deletion of sounds, deletion, sound insertion, and sound substitution. Since according to my observation, these are 3 of the major problems in students' pronunciation. As the boy who cried the wolf is a popular story for early education. Students are required to introduce the story briefly to memorize the words and improve their capacity of generation. The target students are middle school grade 1 in Hong Kong, and the class duration is about half an hour. Before this class, students should have basic knowledge of IPA. And the learning objective is to basically eliminate sound deletion, sound insertion, and unnecessary sound substitution. The keywords that I am going to focus on in this lesson is first, shoot, feast, cried, villagers, and also for. Cause this words sometimes lead to confusion. And before this class, I will prepare the following materials. Firstly, the phonics song. This song actually is about a mother who wake her son up in the morning, and but the son is unwilling to do so. And then some IPA cards with the shape of a mouth when pronouncing, and also the website of online English pronunciation learning. This is the corpus of our university, and the last is the Cambridge online dictionary. To warm up and leading, I will greet the students, which is designed to review the learned words and also enhance their pronunciation. And then I will ask the students to listen to the alphabetic phonic songs. And the aim of this process is to review IPA and prepare knowledge for later process. And then pronunciation remedy. In this process, I will ask students to read the story after the teacher. During this process, I will pay attention to the pronunciation of the students. And then I will divide the students into 5 groups. Listen and ask them to listen to the recording by HK7 in our corpus. And for this process, I will ask them to listen to the recordings and find the major pronunciation problems in the recording, and then discuss their findings with other group mates to select the most prominent problems in the recording's pronunciation. And at last, I will show the correct pronunciation of the major mispronounced words. Well, in this process, I will leave room for some flexibility. To be specific, if time permits, I will add activities such as peer assessment or another supplementary video into this process. But that depends on the time management of the class. And after reading and analyzing the story, I will ask the students to retell this story. This is to motivate students and check the weakness of the students in pronouncing relevant words and motivates them. And to consolidate the knowledge of the students, I will conduct some game and reading activities. Firstly, the card game. In this game, I will show the IPA cards to the students and tell the students the game. And tells the rules to the students. When the teacher shows the letters, the students should pronounce all the pronunciations of the letters in a low voice. If the teacher shows the pronunciation of the letters to the students should say correspondent letters in loud voice. This is to help students memorize the pronunciation of each letter. And then there's the reading activity. For this activity, I will write the major mispronounced words of students and those discovered in reading on the blackboard. And after that, I will ask students to read together, erase the words if the word is pronounced correctly, and repeat reading until all the words are erased. And the next part is dictation. In this part, I will pronounce the letters, words, or pronunciation of letters, and then the students should write down corresponding IPA of letters. This is to help the students memorize the words and avoid common mistakes in pronunciation. And the last process of this lesson is Q&A and homework and class dismissal, which takes about 5 minutes. And my design homework is the students read their favorite English story at least 200 words and record his or her reading. Okay, that's all.
Can you give more specific, any phonological features you would like to focus on this lesson?
Well, I would like to focus on the consonant L because that's according to my own observation, that's the most that letter is very easily to be neglected in pronunciation.
L sound. Okay.
Yes.
And initial and final position, both.
Final
position. Okay, so usually there will be L, so like a division or like use vowel L to replace L.
Yes.
Vocalization. Okay, so maybe it should be more clear. You want to more focus on final L sound. Okay, and then
I will revise it.
Yeah. Okay, and then you want to use the phonics, right? At the beginning of the lesson.
Yes, phonics song.
Phonics song. So it's 26 letters, right? And then
no, it is a mother who wakes her son up.
Okay, so
it's
in that song, there L sound, B sound. In that, so you should double check when you select any song. So L sound should be there. Okay, especially in the final position. Okay, so that will be more coherent. And then in the next part, you have the select the. You ask students to read the story. So the story, you mean the boy who cried wolf?
Yes.
Okay. The boy who. So you should print out the worksheet for them. So you need to prepare a worksheet for them. Okay.
Yes.
And then print out this story, and then you invite the student into 5 groups, and then ask them to listen. One recording is from Hong Kong 7, right?
Yes.
And then spot out the errors.
Yes.
Okay, so and then you ask students to make peer comments, discussion, peer discussion, group discussion.
Yes.
Okay, so I think it's better to design some worksheet for this part.
Okay. I do that.
Okay, and then you have a card game, right?
Yes.
So card game is. Can you elaborate a little bit about the card game? Because it seems like only the letter and sound. Is it? You won't try to match IPA and the letter. Am I right?
Yes. And in this
But
process.
if you only focus on L sound, do you think you need to have this?
I will generally let them review all the sounds and the letters, but I will focus more on consonants such as L and other problems.
Okay. I think it's better to you have the sound and then not only letter, you should use the word and then with L sound in that word. I think that would be.
There are some words in the
words.
class.
Yeah, in the card, not only letter. I think you should put more real in the real context. Either use the word or a sentence and with L sound and final position.
Okay, I'll make it clear that there are the mouth, the shape of the mouth, and some words on the class.
Yeah. Okay. So I think you need to think it more carefully and choose the most specific feature, and then provide each worksheet for each activity.
Okay. Thank you.